I learned as a non-believer that if I'm going to examine the truth of Christianity, I must use the legal historical approach, or what I call the evidential method. Now, what does that mean? The legal historical proof is based on showing that something is true beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, let me repeat that. It's based on showing that something is true beyond a reasonable doubt. In other words, the judge or the jury reaches a verdict or a conclusion on the basis or the sufficiency or the weight of the evidence. In other words, it is reasonable to believe that this is what happened, or it's unreasonable to believe that that actually happened. Now, when it comes to the evidential method or the legal historical approach, there's three types of evidence you consider. One is what is called oral testimony. That is verbally what one person passes on to another describing what happened. A second is written testimony. That's testimony of things written out about what happened. Third, it's physical testimony, like a photograph, a document that's been notarized and signed, a fingerprint, the configurations in your eyes. It's often used for security and to check out who that person really is. Oral testimony, written testimony, and physical testimony, or what you call exhibits. For example, try to prove scientifically that Abraham Lincoln was president of the United States. You can't do that because you can't repeat him being president in a controlled environment, an observation made of it. However, using the evidential approach or the legal historical approach, you can. Why? There are photographs going back, personal testimony that's been written down, you have documents signed and notarized, etc. This gives historical evidence that it's reasonable to believe that Abraham Lincoln was president of the United States. That's the same approach that must be applied to Jesus Christ, because you cannot repeat him in a controlled environment where observation can be made from a scientific method.